Severance follows Mark Scout, an employee of Lumon Industries, who is trying to uncover the truth about the severance process and how it affects the Lumon employees. At Lumon, Mark's uniform and his colleagues from the Macro Data Refinement Department discover a secret procedure that can help them interact with the outside world. However, the process raises more challenges for the MDR team as they desperately try to end their miserable situation at Lumon and expose the shady company. The episode ends on a shocking cliffhanger that will undoubtedly have viewers curious looking for answers about the fates of their favorite characters. If you seek clarification about the ending of Severance Season 1 finale, here is everything you need to know. Episode 9 of Severance is called The We Are and opens with the MDR team members, Mark, Helly, and Irving's innies, awakening outside Lumon Industries after Dylan triggers the overtime contingency. Mark finds himself next to Mrs. Selvig at Rickon's book reading while Irving is alone at his home. Helly is present at the Lumon Gala, and her real name is revealed to be Helena Egan. Mark realizes that he is close with his sister, Devon, and tries to talk with her. Meanwhile, Irving finds an old trunk in his closet, which contains a Navy uniform that belongs to his dad. He also finds Burt's address and a map with directions to Burt's home. At the book reading, Mark tries to reveal the truth about Lumon to Devon, but she is preoccupied with taking care of her baby. Soon, the book reading starts, and Mark is forced to postpone his conversation with Devon. At the Lumon Gala, Helly realizes that her outie belongs to the Egan family. Her life on the severed floor has been turned into a documentary promoting the severance process and its merits. During a break in the book reading, Mark addresses Mrs. Selvig as Ms. Cobble, alerting her that the overtime contingency has been triggered. Mark speaks with Evan, and Ms. Cobble rushes to the Lumon office to stop the innies from revealing Lumon secrets. She tries to contact Mr. Milchick but is unable to reach him. On the other hand, Mark learns about his life outside Lumon, and Evan reveals that Mark was devastated after the death of his wife, Gemma. Therefore, he underwent severance and joined Lumon Industries. In the end, Mark, Helly, and Irving each attempt to free themselves of their misery at the shady corporation as Ms. Cobble makes a desperate ploy to stop them. What does Mark learn about his wife? In the 9th episode, Mark's innie finally awakens outside Lumon and tries to share his situation with his sister. After numerous obstacles, Mark finally finds a quiet moment with Evan. However, instead of discussing Lumon, Mark takes the time to learn about his outie's life and his decision to undergo severance. Later, Mark reveals that something shady is going on at Lumon and asks for Devon's help to uncover the conspiracy. However, the siblings' conversation is cut short when Devon realizes that Mrs. Selvig is Mark's boss. Devon panics because she has handed over the baby to Mrs. Selvig. While searching for the baby, Mark finds a picture from his wedding with Gemma. Mark realizes that Gemma's Ms. Casey Ann is still alive. Meanwhile, Mr. Milchick learns about the innie's actions and arrives at the security room to stop Dylan. As Mark races to tell the truth to Devon, Mr. Milchick tackles Dylan to the ground, thereby shutting down the overtime contingency. The episode ends without revealing the aftermath of overtime contingency being shut down. Therefore, it appears that Mark missed his chance to share the truth about his wife with his outie. However, when Mr. Milchick triggers the overtime contingency to speak with Dylan's innie in the 6th episode, Dylan's innie retains the knowledge about his son. Therefore, Mark's outie may retain the recently discovered truth about Gemma. What does Irving learn about Burt? Over the first season of Severance, Irving meets Burt of the optics and design department. Eventually, they fall in love with each other, but are separated after Burt retires. Irving's innie resolves to reunite with Burt and uses his time in the outside world to track down Burt. Irving finds Burt's address and heads to his home. However, when he arrives at Burt's home, he sees Burt happily living his life with another man. Despite the heartbreaking moment, Irving feels that Burt is the only person he can trust with the truth about Lumon. Therefore, he proceeds to knock on Burt's door. However, the overtime contingency is shut down before Irving and Burt can reunite, leaving the aftermath unknown. Irving will likely reunite with Burt but in his outie form. Therefore, it remains to be seen how the two will interact with each other without knowing about their interactions within Lumon. What does Helly learn about Lumon? One of the most tantalizing reveals of the finale is that Helly's real name is Helena Egan, and she is a member of the Egan family, the founders and owners of Lumon Industries. Until now, viewers had a hint of Mark, Irving, and Dylan's lives outside the shady corporation. However, viewers first get a glimpse of Helly's outside life at the Lumon Gala. After learning the truth about her outie, Helly grows more determined to expose Lumon. Despite not having anyone she can trust and her family itself being the culprits, Helly decides to speak out against Lumon at the gala. However, right before Helly can step on the stage, Ms. Cobble arrives on the scene and warns Helly that her actions will have dire repercussions for Helly and her friends. Nonetheless, Helly goes on the stage and expresses that the innies are miserable and Lumon is lying about the severance process. However, her speech is cut short as the overtime contingency is turned off. Therefore, Ms. Cobble ultimately succeeds in stopping Helly. Although Helly's brief speech could cause a stir among the gala attendants, it can easily be masked as a PR stunt. Therefore, it seems like Helly and the MDR team's efforts are in vain. In the end, uncertainty looms over the futures of Mark, Helly, Irving, and Dylan, as Lumon is likely to take strict actions against its employees. Will Irving and Burt end up together? In the Season 1 finale of Severance, Irving's innie awakens outside Lumon after Dylan triggers the overtime contingency. Inside a trunk, Irving discovers Burt's address and a map with directions to his home. Irving possessing the map indicates that he has some connection with Burt outside of Lumon. However, when Irving arrives at Burt's house, he sees Burt living happily with another man. The episode ends as Irving knocks on Burt's door just before the overtime contingency is shut down. Given the episode's ending, Burt and Irving are likely to reunite. However, since both are in their outie forms, they're unlikely to recognize each other. Burt's outie is with another man and has no memory of his feelings for Irving. Therefore, it appears that Burt and Irving's romantic future is doomed. Moreover, since Irving's innie form can only temporarily exist outside Lumon, it will be difficult for him to keep in contact with Burt. However, there is still a chance of the duo recollecting their feelings for each other. In the series, certain specific situations seem to remind innies about their lives outside Lumon. For example, in an episode, Mark starts sculpting a tree during a wellness meeting with Ms. Casey. During this scene, Mark is exposed to a scented candle belonging to Mark's wife, Gemma. It is later revealed that Ms. Casey is actually Gemma. She is believed to have died in a car accident after crashing near a tree. Hence, it is safe to say that certain sensory events can trigger personal memories within the innies. Burt and Irving's innies fell in love while exploring their affection for paintings. In one scene, their hands casually touch while Burt is showing Irving a painting. The moment sparks romantic feelings between them. Therefore, if the duo were to find themselves in a similar situation outside Lumon, memories of their time together could return. Secondly, it is also likely that despite his retirement, Burt still has his severance chip installed in his brain. Therefore, Irving could find a way to activate Burt's innie for them to reunite romantically. The innies have already triggered the overtime contingency once, so it is safe to say such a scenario is not entirely out of the question. Hence, despite the odds stacked against them, viewers should not lose hopes of Irving and Burt ending up together. Will Mark and Helly end up together? Mark and Helly's innies have a good rapport established after some tumultuous interactions. However, they eventually find a soft spot for each other and seem like they would make an ideal pair. However, romantic relationships within severed employees appear to be prohibited by Lumon. Moreover, the innies are completely unaware of their lives outside work and could have significant others, complicating their romantic situation. Viewers are already aware that Mark's wife, Gemma, is actually Ms. Casey. The series has presented Mark with a conundrum as Mark's outie is still in love with Gemma, while Mark's innie has feelings for Helly. As the narrative progresses, viewers get an acute sense of the psyches of the innies. It is highlighted several times that innies do not consider themselves to be actual people. However, they also have their own desires and experience normal human emotions. Hence, Mark's innie might want to pursue a romantic relationship with Helly. On the other hand, Helly's arc revolves around challenging her duties as an innie and she believes herself to be an individual with her own thoughts, feelings, and desires. Therefore, a romantic relationship between Mark and Helly will allow the makers to explore the humanity of the innies. As the innies come to accept themselves as individuals and not just constructs of romantic relationships between them are likely. However, the other side of the argument is that Lumon is unlikely to entertain such behavior and will try to curb the innies of their free will, thereby reducing the chances of Mark and Helly ending up together. In the aftermath of the innies' attempt to awaken outside work and spill the secrets of Lumon, Mark and Helly's innies are likely to receive severe punishments. Their memories could also be erased, thereby erasing any lingering romantic feelings they might have had for each other. Ultimately, things do not look bright for Mark and Helly's romantic future, and they will likely not end up together.